Going on, Jerome's Minnesota Vikings Training Camp is a week already in the books. We got preseason games coming up quickly, but there's starting to be some stratification between the winners and the not so much winners. So we got 10 winners. We got a couple of non-winners. Who's helped themselves, who's hurt themselves in training camp. So let's start off at the top. So number one, actually, what should we? How should we do this? Well, we'll start out number 10 winners. So offensive guard Ed Ingram. I think that he's shown really well in one-on-one spots once the pads came on Monday and Tuesday. And the fact that he's already second-team right guard, and if Jesse Davis falters, he did sort of okay in 11-on-11s, especially squaring off against Diesel, Dalvin Tomlinson, and company. But the second-round pick, Ed Ingram out of LSU, maybe with a solid rest of training camp and maybe with some great preseason performances, perhaps he sneaks into the starting lineup to start the year. We will see. Next up, winner number 9 for Vikings training camp so far, linebacker Troy Dye. Now, sort of mixed about Troy Dye over the last couple years whenever he had been inserted in the starting lineup, whether it's injuries to Anthony Barr or Eric Wilson. He was sort of meh. It's sort of meh, right? But good coverage skills. Did need to add some more size. Need to be better at the point of attack and tackling, but he was a good special teamer, and it does seem like he is the number 3 off-ball linebacker for the moment, because when Jordan Hicks was out, Troy Dye was in. Whenever Eric Kendricks is subbed out, Troy Dye is in. He is that guy for now, holding off guys like Blake Lynch, holding off rookie Brian Asamoah. So the Pride of Oregon has done pretty well in training camp so far. Next up, winner number 8 for the Vikings so far in camp, edge rusher Zach McCloud. Ooh, that's right. That's the U being the U, baby. Coming in out of Miami, a UDFA, was sort of a one-year wonder, primarily played off-ball linebacker for the Hurricanes, was in college for 6 years. Ooh, like to see it, man. But Zach McCloud has been mixing in with the twos ahead of a guy like Janarius Robinson, who's a 4th-round pick last year out of Florida State. More on him in a second. And I do think that McCloud does have a chance to make the 53. I think that he has right now secured himself a practice squad spot. Again, it's still pretty early, but I think that that's where he's projecting. Maybe he finds his way onto the 53-man roster. Possibility. Next up, a winner number 7 so far in training camp for the Vikings. So combo platter, wide receivers, Tristan Jackson as well as Myron Mitchell. So Tristan Jackson, 2020 UDFA, coming out of Syracuse. He joined the Rams, crossover with Kevin O'Connell, West Phillips, something we talked about. He's a guy that's flown on the radar during offseason work, and he's looked good and has been mixing in with the two. Same thing with Myron Mitchell, who was a UDFA out of UAB. I think he's quietly had a very nice camp as well. And so the Vikings, the winner, well, first off, so our winners list is more guys who have overachieved. So Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, Andrew Booth Jr., of course, should be on this list, but that's a given. That given, especially that they're hammering out there. And in terms of the wide receiver depth chart, it's Jefferson, it's Thielen, it's KJ for sure. ISM, I think, has secured that wide receiver 4 spot. And then you have a mix of Jackson and Mitchell. Now, it wouldn't really shock me if one or maybe even both of them make the roster over veterans like Olabisi Johnson, over veterans like Albert Wilson. Maybe even a rookie 6th-round pick Jalen Naylor ends up on the practice squad as opposed to the 53-man roster right away. So I think that's how good Jackson and Mitchell have looked so far. Next up, winner number 6 for the Vikings in training camp, Armand for Watts. That's right, baby. So he played nose tackle for the Vikings over the last couple seasons, had 5 sacks last year. He slimmed down, lost about 22 pounds, playing that 5-tech spot, and he's been inserted in the Vikings starting lineup, and I think that he's going to stay there. I think that it's going to be Armand and Dalvin as well as Harrison Phillips across the front, and I'm excited for him. He's in a contract year. I think he's going to give himself some cheddar, and yeah, he's just a fantastic player, finally getting the time of day. Love to see it. Next up, winner number 5 for the Vikings in training camp, left tackle Christian Darius. Woo! So Darius, like we said last year, he had to deal with that sports hernia surgery, coming back, double hernia surgery, whatever, right? But no offseason work, no training camp, just thrown to the fire as a rookie. He showed some high-end traits. He's got great size, he's got great athleticism, just needs to work on some technique and refinement. And so far, he's at a fully healthy offseason, fully healthy training camp, battling in one-on-one spots against Daniil and Zadarius Smith in one-on-ones as well as 11-on-11s. Love to see it. I do think that Darius has the traits, and also I think he's got the demeanor to be a Pro Bowl tackle in this league for many years to come. Next up, winner number 4, training camp, Tight end, Johnny Mundt. So even before Irv had his thumb issue, Mundt had pretty much secured himself the tight end 2 spot, mixing in with the ones. Zach Davidson did come in with the first team in 2-minute drill. Zach Davidson, you could probably toss him on this list as well, but I do think that Johnny Mundt, given his familiarity with Kevin O'Connell as well as Wes Phillips, as well as the offense, I think that he has a chance to move up from being the utility backup tight end to being a contributor on this team. Next up, winner number 3 from training camp so far, defensive tackle Harrison Phillips. Now, you could say you don't necessarily need to put him on there because he's a veteran. He got paid. He's supposed to be doing good, but he's doing good. He's looking real good, man. And it's not just in one-on-one spots against Bradbury. He's been extremely disruptive in team drills. When the pads came on, when the lights came on, he's just there, man. I think that he's going to be an absolute steal, a great value signing for the Vikings. Not only is he good against the run, he's got some man-sized strength, can take on multiple offensive linemen, can also get after the quarterback's ass. So I think Harrison Phillips is going to be that dude. Next up, winner number 2, training camp so far, KJ Osborne. KJ is looking freaking good, man, because remember the whole hullabaloo that it was KJ and BC Johnson competing for wide receiver 3. Now, KJ, year 3, I think he is the wide receiver to beat. I think KJ had a really nice bust out last year. I think that he does have 1,000-yard potential. I think that the Vikings do have a nice 3-deep 2.0 going on. You got Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the game. Thielen is a red zone assassin. I think KJ has a chance to be that guy. Him and Kirk Cousins clearly have a nice rapport. KJ had a nice touchdown at the end of 2-minute drill on Monday. So I think that he has a chance to really go boom this year. And lastly, winner number 1 so far in training camp, another wide receiver, Amari SmithMarsett. Now, I would say as of right now, I think ISM has a pretty damn good hold on the wide receiver 4 spot. He showed off speed. He showed off agility. Also, he showed off a lot of underneath as well as a lot of good route running refinement, something that we greatly improved from last season. I think that he can be more than just a deep threat. So Amari SmithMarsett was a guy very lightly used last year, got into a handful of games towards the end of the season, scored 2 touchdowns, both of them against the Bears. And I think that he has a chance to be that spicy element on the Vikings passing game. Or, the Vikings go 3-4 wide. ISM gets out there. He runs a 9 route, clears out everyone, takes the top off the defense, and either Kirk hits them or everything is open underneath. And also, ISM is in the thick of the punt return competition right now, so ISM could find a number of ways to get the ball into his mitts and make some big-time plays this year. The not-so-much winners, it's unfortunate. So these guys really got to step it up. Edge rusher Janarius Robinson. So I have high hopes for him. I still do. I think that he's a very toolsy player. I think that a move to a 3-4 greatly will emphasize his skill set, but he's also not getting second-team reps ahead of guys like Zach McCloud, coming in and losing your spot to a UDFA. So I think it's an uphill battle for him right now. Next up, not so much winner number 4, offensive guard Wyatt Davis. And so, again, another Spielman mid-round draft pick, 3rd round last season. Didn't get the time of day last year, thinking, okay, clean slate, fresh start, here we go. And he hasn't done it. He hasn't risen above 3rd team yet. It's been Chris Reed and Ed Ingram and Ezra Cleveland and Jesse Davis taking up those guard spots. So maybe Wyatt Davis might not be long for this team. Who really knows? It's unfortunate. Next up, not so much winner number 3. Zooming in, enhancing. All right, Chad Surratt, another 3rd-round pick by Rick Spielman in 2021. A guy who didn't get the time of day. He's a converted college quarterback. He's kind of an older rookie coming in at 24, but a high-energy guy and just never really came together. And it's clear that he's not getting that time of day from the new regime either, especially with the shift to a 3-4. He's primarily still playing off-ball linebacker, but it's been Troy Dye. It's been Asamoah has been working with the 2s, and it's been Blake Lynch. So I think that Chad Surratt is going to be buried, and unless things start breaking his way, he may not make the team or the practice squad. Not so much winner number 2, Bradbury. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So first 2 padded practices, the number one thing that he needed to work on was the anchor in one-on-one spots, and it's clear that it's the same old movie, same old story, same old song, same old whatever. We've seen all of this before, so they have to have contingency plans, whether that's J.C. Treader, whether that's starting Chris Reed or Schlottman at center. Don't really care at this point. I don't think that this is going to work out. I just don't. And lastly, not so much winner number 1. Yeah, Fortunately, it's Irv Smith Jr. So dinged up that thumb, had to have surgery on Tuesday. He's going to be out for the rest of training camp or preseason. Kevin O'Connell hopes that he's going to be back week 1. But, I mean, this is going to be it. And for a guy who has been trying to shake the injury-prone label because he was curtailed in 2020 after a groin and back injury, and then 2021 was missed with a meniscus injury and surgery. Now he's got that thumb, and it sucks because he was supposed to be that guy. He was going to be that star tight end 1. Now, it could still work out. Absolutely can. If he keeps his conditioning up, if he still gets those mental reps in, I mean, he can still hit the ground running week 1 once that thumb gets healthy. But it's an uphill climb. It's really, really uphill. It's going to be tough for him. But hopefully Johnny Mundt, hopefully Zach Davidson, hopefully someone can step up in his absence. But that's it. Let's take a look at training camp winners and not so much winners so far. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.